my name is Bennett Sullivan with the Banjo Studio. If you haven't checked out thebanjostudio.com, it is a great resource for American-made banjos and guitars by makers like Deering and Collins. Go check it out at thebanjostudio.com. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can spice up your Cripple Creek. Everybody knows Cripple Creek. It's the first or second song that you've learned. Right? We know that song. So what we're going to do is we're going to chunk this up into different phrases. So kind of listen out for the different phrases of Cripple Creek, because that's going to be helpful for when we're creating improvisations and practicing variations on the song, or coming up with our own variations on the song. So the way that I think about this is Cripple Creek split up into 4 phrases in the A section and 4 in the B section. The first one for Cripple Creek is da dun dun da da. That's the first tiny little phrase. And each of these little phrases we can mess with, and we can kind of come up with our own little ways to play them based on the melody. And the second phrase is booba dibba da, and then we got do 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 do. Sorry, it's hard for me to go that low in the key of G. So da 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 booba dibba da da booba da da do do do. All right, so we got those 4 phrases. We're going to take a look at the second one. Over the C chord. Nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up with something different to play over that C chord. Maybe you want to play a different roll pattern. You know, just putting that 3rd string in there kind of creates something different. It creates a different feeling than just using your 5th string. Or there's lots of different ways that you can approach it just with that C chord on the same spot that it is when you play the original version. But what we're going to do, and this is just a little melodic variation, is I'm going to put my middle finger on the 5th fret, 3rd string, and my ring finger right below it on the 5th fret, 2nd string. And we're going to go. And so that is just 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. All right, so now let's try to put it in the song. You might want to pause the video and get that lick down before we do it, but I'm just going to go into it, so pause it if you need to. So we've got our first phrase. Dun, 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 dun. And then we're going like that. And then you go back into the song. And that's just a cool little way to spice it up, which is not very difficult, but throws in some melodic style into your version of Cripple Creek. There's other things you can do. You can take the first phrase and you can go, or lots of different variations that you can do to spice it up. But I would suggest that when you're approaching this in the song, that you take it phrase by phrase and say, okay, I'm going to look at this first phrase. What can I do to this first phrase? And of course, at the jam session, you're going to want to just do this on the fly. You're not going to want to think about it too much. But when you're slowing it down and you're in your practice session, you can slow it down to the point of thinking about the individual phrases and focusing on each one. Which one feels best or sounds best to put in a little variation in. And try to use the melody as your guide too, you know. So you can do that little melodic thing, or I'm trying to get the melody in there as best I can. And then once you get to more advanced concepts of improvisation, you can mess around with that melody even more, or even go completely far from the melody. All right, I hope this gives you some ideas on how to approach improvisation on fiddle tunes, and hopefully you can apply that to Cripple Creek. My name's Bennett Sullivan. Any questions, just put them in the comments section below. Check out thebanjostudio.com, and I'll see you on the next lesson.